Okay, so dear Dharma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body and keep your back straight and neck head straight in one line and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring your attention to this bell sound. And while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind, and relax your breathing with your thoughts. So do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. So dear Dharma practitioners, before we start our practice session, as usual, we'll take few minutes for ourselves to become very clear with the practice, the very meaning and the purpose of this practice. So, because when you become very clear with the practice, the practice, so once you recognize the deeper meaning, it will help for you to develop your own way of method to go into deeper level of this spiritual path. So that is where you gain the success. It is not something you do because of this or that. It should come through yourself, from you, with the deeper, with the intention and with the deeper effort yourself to go towards it. So how we can get into that? When you have the clarity, again and again, that it will slowly take you to that deeper level. Otherwise, you get tired. When there is doubt and clarity, there is no way that you can generate the energy. So that's why every day we take few minutes to give some basic information from different ways. We try to open different windows to see beyond that our mind, to understand how this path can work for us. So today we're going to touch something little bit deep. So that is our soul, or the consciousness, or the awareness. Because every day you may heard the word called recognition. What is the meaning of recognition? So the recognition, it's come from the cognition. So the cognition means the mental action or the process of acquiring knowledge and understanding through thoughts and experience and the sense. So that cognition, and it called recognition, become the recognized. So the cognition is there, but the thing is that mental action or the process very disconnect itself from the moment. But the cognition is already there, but the experience. So the mental action and the experience disconnect. So when you can bring this together, that is what called the recognition. That means recognizing. So how we can do it? Why we have to do it? So when it comes to before the Buddha, and even after the Buddha today also, I mean, there are many spiritual schools, methods, talk about the soul, consciousness, awareness, or the mind. It's kind of like unchangeable, immortal, unborn, undying way of experience. But the thing is, when it comes to the Buddha, what is the difference? It was a kind of like a very, very brand new recognition during that time. It was a breaking news for the spiritual world. What is that? Because that everybody thought the cognition, this recognition, this experience, this awareness, this consciousness, or the vijnana is permanent. It's unbreakable. It's never going to die. And it's unborn. It's not, there's no process go through aging. It's solid, unparalleled, untouchable, concrete, and no one can interfere with it. So that kind of many ways they used to introduce this. So what is this recognition or the consciousness or the awareness? What is this cognition? Right now, that what you experience in the moment, looking at this computer or your cell phone or your iPad or your TV. Right now, what you experience, and in that very moment that you know that you experience it, that is your recognition. So that is your cognition. That is your awareness. But this knower and is not a kind of like separate from your body and the process of in the very moment that what you go through. And it is the very subject of karmic action. But the thing was, before the Buddha, everybody used to think that what you experience, not your body, but deeper in you, with all the senses, as that what you experience, this cognition or the awareness or the consciousness, and thought it is permanent. But what the Buddha said, that what you experience in this very moment is not permanent. And in the deeper level of with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, that as a memory, what you experience also not permanent. So when it comes to the Buddha's teaching, as you know, that the one of the basic fundamental teaching is impermanent. So that impermanent is not about Listen this very carefully and be very clear and try to catch it slowly. That impermanence doesn't mean these outside things. It doesn't mean this about the decay of this bottle. It doesn't mean the decay of this, the change of this pen. It doesn't mean the decay of this flower behind me. It doesn't mean even this decay of this body that you and me experience and see. In the early Buddhism, the very deeper level of Buddha's recognition was, what is the impermanent mean? Not this material world, but your consciousness. So that is what impermanent. The very reason for that, your consciousness is depending, it's dependently originated. And it's always not going to arise without a cause. It always that what you experience in this very moment, and even inside your thoughts, even though you don't see the reasons, it arises with the reason. It arises with the cause. Without a cause, without depending from something, your cognition not going to happen. If in this very moment, just imagine what you feel within yourself is a result of something else. If your feelings, if your recognition arise because of something, then what you experience is not going to be permanent. Even the consciousness as the recognizer arise with the depending from something. It's originated from dependently. So then, if you break it down, that your experience, it related to six senses. With the senses, eye, ear, nose, tongue, and the body, and the mind. So beyond that, there is nothing related to your consciousness or the soul or your awareness or the vijnana or the cognition. There is nothing beyond that. It's all related to your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind. So now I'm going to tell you something, and it's going to blow your mind. So what is that? There's nothing. This is the misunderstanding. It's historical, cultural misunderstanding. You know, that is the thing. But we prove it. It's kind of even the whatever the things when we repeat and culturally, traditionally, historically repeat, it's going to become a truth. So that is what happened to us also. Eons by eons, it's culturally, you know, radically developed this idea. What is that idea? That idea, I mean, you can experience something. This is, you can see, you can hear, you can smell, you can taste, you can feel, you can think. This is a historical, cultural misunderstanding. Why? Because you can't see. You and that what you see is not separate. You arise when the worldly object touch with your eye, the eye consciousness arises. That arising eye consciousness build up experiencer. So if the experiencer think, oh, I can see, no, because the experiencer arises as a result of the very contact with your eye and the object. So then what happens? But we think, oh, I can see. Oh, I can hear. No, you can't hear. Because the you arise, you are there because of the hearing happens. You can't smell. The smell arise and you can experience it. Otherwise, if you can smell and try to smell something, if you can smell, if there is a very bad, unpleasant smell, why you can't change it? Why you keep, why it happening to you? Why it keep coming to you? And maybe you disturb, and telling, oh, there's a bad smell. There's a bad smell. What is that? So if you can smell, well, then why you bother about the bad smell? Because you are the one, you are the one who can smell. So then change it. But you are, what happened, for this process, you hold as you, and then what happened, you try to overwrite that experience with the idea of the self. But the self arises as a result of the worldly object and the senses contact. And when according to that, with your eye, the eye consciousness arises. With your ear, the sound and the ear consciousness arise. Nose and the smell, the nose consciousness arise. The tongue and the taste, the tongue consciousness arise. The body and the sensation, the body and the body object, the sensation, the body consciousness arise. The mind and the thoughts or the mind object, then the mind consciousness arise. So that itself, bringing your consciousness and awareness, your recognition, your mind, your soul. So what happens once it overwrite that what is happening, and then that happening experience disappear, and imagination going to be there. So imagination is the process after what you experience. But this imagination bring the idea, oh, I experience. This is me. So, but the thing is, if you look very carefully, you can't go into something and experience. Just imagine that to see something, if there is no worldly object, eyesight, and it doesn't contact with the eye, you can't see it. If there's sound and it doesn't contact with your ear, you can't hear it. And the smell, it doesn't matter whatever the smell, but if it doesn't touch your nose, contact your nose, if the nose consciousness doesn't arise, it's not going to become your recognition. So then there is a process always happening as a cognition in you as a human being. When you're born as a human being, there is a very special way of this biochemical mechanism happen only in this human body. It doesn't have, it doesn't going to be the same like other animals. It's a very different way of biochemical reaction. So once you have it, you are capable to tune to the moment of process that happening within your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind. And at the same time, to experience it without overwriting. So that is what called the recognition. Recognizing. So if it is happen moment by moment, moment by moment, then by the time the continuation of this process develop and keep your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind with the object and the consciousness and the recognition. Because it's moment by moment, moment by moment change. And this senses contact with the world, and then it has, we have that when it comes to the cognition, when it comes to consciousness, when it comes to awareness, when it comes to mind, when it comes to your soul, it has six flavors. One flavor is with your eye and related to your eye consciousness. All the pain, all the pleasure, happiness, or the unhappiness, sadness, worry, disappointment, joy, happiness, satisfaction, you name whatever, even the tranquility state, all arise out of these six flavors. So that six flavors mean out of your eye and the worldly object related to eye and related to your eye consciousness, there is a different flavor in you. And related to the ear and the worldly object, the ear object or the sound and the ear consciousness, and there is a different flavor. So what happens, the living means we are searching, we are depending, we are blending this flavor one by one, always replacing something. So in a certain level, your eye consciousness arises, you have that flavor, then suddenly what happened? That now you know that eye consciousness arises from depending from something. And then that your cognition, your recognition arise depending from the eye consciousness, then it going to be for a moment, and then by the time it decay, and then another flavor going to replace there, maybe with the ear consciousness. So like that, these six flavors, six colors, six methods, six patterns, always rotating one by one. And it happens naturally. And it happens so continually. And because of that, we don't see a gap. So then by the time what happened, all the six things we experience as one. So as example, if you say you eat a fruit salad or you eat soup, you take the soup or the fruit salad or the salad as one bowl. But there are a lot of things, different things there. But you take it as one. So your consciousness the same. You take all the six colors, six flavors, the six objects, six consciousness together. Now you think it is as something. So the meditation is a method allow you to settle down. So that sixth flavor, what happened, build up the cravings, the desire. It give the strength for us. It build up inside us to go towards something. So just imagine, that's why when you have that historical cultural misunderstanding, so I experienced that what happened, you always, through your eye, you always ready to look something. Through your ear, you always ready to look, hear something, smell something, taste something, feel something, think something. So then what happened constantly? This continually what happened, the deeper this current keep moving inside you. And it like a spider web, always with the six senses going and changing, and one by one, try to overtake something. So then by the time what happened? That as example, when you know that, when something you start to move and you start to see it as a kind of like a one thing, and you see like the circle, and by the time it has a power to lift from the place, like the helicopter. So when you start to move something and throw, and it start to generate, it's that movement to start to generate some power. So what happened, just imagine your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, the consciousness start to go around and creating flavor and build up a flavor and taste. And then by the time what happens, that flavor go beyond the moment. It detached from the very timeline, because of the speed, because of the strength that do build up, and it generate its own way of flowing. So that itself called the samsara. That strength, even suddenly if the body die, the desire to see, the desire to hear, the desire to smell, desire to taste, desire to feel, desire to think, has power to find, build up the eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind. So how the eye arise? When you come to the mother's womb. So it doesn't come only with the desire of hearing, because as example that you used to, just imagine you eat the salad. So you take that salad as a meal. You eat the soup, or I ate the soup, you complete, you take it as a meal. So what happened? This eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind moment of experience you take as the life. So the desire of life, what happened? Build up again, not only eye, not only ear, not only nose. It build up the desire of eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, and bring it another blueprint of it. And then when you come with the consciousness, when you come to the mother's womb, what happened? Again, you build up the life. So the life related to the consciousness, and the consciousness mean it depending from the six flavor, eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, and it create that. So your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind create the consciousness, and then once it speed up, what happened? It start to recreate, rebuild the eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind. So this is a journey, the rotation. No, it help each other. Consciousness arise as a result of eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind consciousness. And once it arises as a one, it again, to exist itself, it need the help of the eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind. So then it refund to build up the eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind. So that is the very karmic action happening inside us. So this whole process we call as the self or the I am, and some used to think this process is untouchable and no one can interfere for that, and it is unchangeable, and it never going to die, and it has a deeper connection to the entire universe. So what the Buddha mentioned here, the very key point, that your consciousness not arise separate from your eye, ear, nose, tongue, or body, mind. It is the very result of your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body. So it is a very deeper level of observation and recognition. And as example, right now, if you look very carefully, if you have very sharp and clear unbound mind, and you can see the very history of your thoughts. If you have the very unbiased mind towards emotions, because we are biased to our emotions, we don't challenge for our emotions, we don't take it as a kind of like something. We take it as us. We don't challenge, or the challenge me doesn't mean, you know, you go and challenge. It's only practice point of view to explain this. We don't investigate our own emotions, or we don't question our own thoughts from where it come, why it come, because we take it as I am. But here when it comes to meditation, you come to a point just to observe. So then remember then, that's why when we observe the inhalation, exhalation, we say, don't think that I inhale or I exhale. Why? Because then you again empower the same, that historical, cultural, ethical, spiritual mistake. What is that? Oh, I can see, I can hear, I can smell, I can taste, I can feel, I can think. And then you think, oh, I can breathe. You can't breathe. You know, you can experience it. So just settle down a little bit and see it. Get out of this misunderstanding. You can't do anything. Only thing, because you can only experience, that experiencer is you. That experience happen as a result of cause and effect. So the cause and effect means your consciousness even depend from, originate from a cause, and that cause also depend from something. So like that, it's a moment by moment process happening always. So you come to the posture, sitting, and start to observe. Observe the sensation of inhalation, exhalation. And then you will see you are an experiencer. That experiencer arises as a result of this natural process related to your human body and mind. And what you hear, so get out of the idea of I can hear, just be an experiencer. Get out of the idea of I can see. Just experience that the process happening with your eye and the eyesight. So then you will see in a certain level with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, that the contact and the consciousness, when it happens, the itself, the very moment of recognition arises in you. So that recognition is not I think, that it arises in you and you become an experiencer. So once you tune to that, there's no effort to do something. So now we have effort to see, we have effort to hear, we have effort to smell, we have effort to taste, we have effort to feel, we have effort itself to think, and we have not only that, and after that we have effort to maintain it in a certain level. That itself becomes the struggle of life. It's like when you try to sleep. So what happens when you try to sleep? You can't sleep. It's going to become kind of like a middle of the hell, you know. You can't sleep. When the mind gets out of the idea of sleeping, you fall into sleeping. So then how about the life? You know, in a very conventional life, because this has a long history for us, and we always have desire to do something and make things happen the way we want. So it's nothing wrong with that. Just let it be in the outside world. You know, sometimes you can ask, oh, then how about our life? You know, we have to, of course, that maintaining life is a different art. But at least you don't need to touch that, you know, outside world. But I'm telling, just few minutes, you know, every day go to the closet. So that's mean every day sit yourself, settle down 5 minutes. And 5 minutes enough for you, you know, to start. Settle down and come to the posture. Now, once you come to the posture, get out of the desire of moving your body. That's you done. You come to the posture. You have no any intention. 100% neutralize. Come to the very zero level. Each and every cell in your body have desire to move. Then what will happen? Your body is become kind of like a part of the universe. Just imagine this dust each and everywhere in the universe itself. It doesn't have a desire to move. It itself, it is there. Once you tune to that, once it become as it is, it start to tune to connect it to its natural process. But the desire of moving create this all the unbalance. It bring the crash to us. It bring the effort to us. It bring that's all the difficulties, resistance, tiredness. That's everything. What is that when you get tired? What we say? Rest. So what is resting means? You allow things to settle down. See, then once your body to rest, you know, you settle down, what will happen the very next day? You feel so good. So why you once a while rest? That's the question you have to ask. You know, resting is good for you. And when someone die, what we say? Rest in peace. Rest in peace. Why you waiting to die? You know, to rest in peace. Just 5 minutes. Take a conscious decision, because once you die, you don't know what's the meaning of rest. What you don't know what's the meaning of peace. You know, we're struggling, we're fighting. We have a deeper desire. This is a war. Inside us, we have a war in our head. to overtake, gain things. We have this, the mindset, go and get a mindset. So that's why, get out of it, settle down with the posture. And once you settle down, let it settle down with your each and every cell. And once it happens, whatever the sound come, don't have desire to hear. Whatever the sound come, let it experience as a sound. Because remember, you can't hear. You are an experiencer. You are happening as a result of your ear consciousness. So try to get it very clearly. There's no someone called you separate from hearing, and then you can't overtake the ear consciousness and go into it and hear something, because you are happen as a result of ear consciousness. And when the ear consciousness is there, your consciousness arises, that consciousness you take as you. So that's why you can't go and hear, because you are hearing. You are the result of hearing. Who you are means what you heard, what you saw, what you smell, what you taste, what you felt, and what you thought. There's nothing beyond you. So remember that. So then, once you settle down, now your body settle down, there's no desire to move. And then with the very conscious, sharp and clear intention to your mind to settle down without go and get something. You don't look for something. You be in the moment, whatever. When the sound comes, you can know that you experience it. And when the smell comes, you know you experience it. When the sensation arises, you know you experience it. So with that, all the five colors, the 6 colors, 6 flavors, one by one, try to catch it when it is there. Because one flavor going to be stronger at one time and it's fade away, and then another flavor going to become stronger. There's as example. So when you close your eyes, it minimizes this process, because then anymore that you no need to go with the ear flavor, ear consciousness flavor. And that's why we look for very calm, relaxed, quiet space, because then that deeper, you rest that the flavor inside. You get out of that all the 6 and you minimize, and then you have only few and no smell around you, and then no, it's not going to bother you. And so like that, no taste, so it's not going to bother you. And so that way you can deeply go into that your mind consciousness. You can deal with this. So when it comes to meditation and we close our eyes, get into very calm, quiet place, no smell, no sound, and you are not eating. So the very reason for that, you slow down that 6 flavor inside your current. So that itself allows you to see whatever the strong flavor arise in the moment. Because no taste going to be there, no eyesight going to be there, no smell going to be there. If you find a very calm place, no sound going to be there. Quiet place, no sound going to be there. And then you are very capable to track, see, recognize what is the moment of experience. And that give a moment to go deeper a little bit. And once you go deeper, anymore you're not going to settle down on this shallow level. So with that, let's get into practice now a little bit. So your right palm on your left, neck head straight in one line, and be comfortable with your posture. So bring attention to your body and scan head to toes yourself and say so patveva, oh, may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable, may my breath be more smooth, may no difficulties come to me, may all the success come to me. Also think for a moment, this is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime, and detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalations and exhalations. And then by the time, just experience that whatever the sensation arise or the consciousness arise related to your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind. And recognize that experience. So in the beginning, deeply and gently, breathe out 3 times and find the sensation, please. And allow your life happen right now, right here within yourself. Just experience it. Don't look for anything. Do nothing extra. Bring attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also as far as you can through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe. And may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or evil wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light. Your backside, to your left side, and to your right side. Downward, and upward. To all six directions at once, like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy, without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest, wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma and the Sangha, and also by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. ittavataචami sampatam punya sampadam sabbe devanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhutanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe sattanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya imaya dhammanu dhamma patipattiya buddham pujemi dhammam pujemi sangham pujemi අත්තාය ඉමාය පටිපත්තියා ජාති ජරාව්‍යාදි මරණම් හා පරිමුංජිස්සාමි ඉදම් මේ පුඤ්ඤ කම්මං ආසවක්ඛයා වහං හෝතු සබ්බ දුක්ඛා පමුච්ඡතු. Bless you.